What's going on, guys? So a lot of folks ask me to do more tool segments, basically the types of tools that you might need if you're going to be RVing or simply working on a vehicle or installing accessories. And in front of me, I have some tools that I know a lot of people probably already have in their garage, but there's likely a lot of people who don't have some of these tools and they kind of question what they should get. Now, up here you see that I have a drill as well as an impact driver. So both of these tools right here come in a variety of different brands, whether you get a Ryobi or whether you get a Milwaukee or a DeWalt or a number of other brands, Rigid. They're all relatively good at what they do. I don't really have a lot of negatives to say about different brands unless you're really going to be using them in more of like a commercial, industrial, or really rugged environment. Most brands will suit most people just fine. As a matter of fact, several months ago, actually closer to like a year ago, I shot a video on some Greenworks brands that were super affordable. I bought just about every tool they had because they were selling for such a good price with battery packs, and I kept those in one of the RVs all the time just because it was nice to have a tool set with all matching batteries with a charger that was really inexpensive in case they walked off on their own. That said, these two tools up here aren't necessarily part of the video because I want you to get Milwaukee. They're because if you don't have a driver and a drill set, you should get one. These are two critically important tools that if you're going to be RVing, they're important to have. Now, the tools that are left here are tools that, one of these I've featured quite a few times on my channel, and this is always one of the most popular tools that people see on my channel. And this is this really cool socket set that is impact rated, and they are reversible. So you basically have this adapter right here, which is a 1/2-inch adapter, and then it literally goes into the back of these sockets, and you get a ton of different sizes. So we have 17 millimeter, 19 millimeter, 22 millimeter, 21 millimeter, right here, 3/4 inch, 3/16 inch, and 5/16 and 7/8, which for most applications on a vehicle or RV are going to encompass all the larger sizes. These are absolutely invaluable to have with you all the time because you never know when you need to change a tire out, when you need to put a leveler down, a stabilizer jack, you need to remove a component that is larger and it has larger bolt heads on it. These are absolutely insanely affordable, reliable, and they just are so convenient to have all the time. I have like 6 or 7 sets of these that I keep just about everywhere because they're so important to have with me at all times. And you can see I've put wear and tear on just about all of them. They fit virtually all my trailers, from my much larger lug pattern on my 9,000-pound axles on my Texas Pride trailers to the 8,000-pound axles on the Brookstone, and to the lighter duty axles that are on the Surveyor and other trailers that we have, plus just about every heavy duty application we have. This seems to fit. I can usually just grab this box and I can do whatever I need to do if I know it's going to be a larger bolt. Now next to it we have this brand. Again, you have to kind of ignore the brands. A lot of these brands are going to be foreign manufactured. They're going to be essentially strange names that they put on things like Liberation. This is not a brand I'm very familiar with, but the performance of these tools I'm very familiar with because I have 2 other sets of these that I've been using for quite some time. I keep them in different areas of my shop as well as in the garage, so I have the capability of grabbing them when I need them. This is probably a tool set that most people need and they never even realize that they need it. This is actually a nut driver tool set. What do I mean by that? These are kind of equivalent to those handheld tools, the non-power tools, that are designed to fit over different sizes of bolts and nuts. Not necessarily this large, but this will encompass just about every metric and every SAE-sized nut and bolt you might ever need, especially 10 millimeter, 3/8 inches, and the more popular sizes. And why these are so important is because, first of all, they are impact rated, which is really nice. They are 1/4 inch drive, which means these will fit into just about every drill and impact driver you have, and they're deep. So they have the capability of sliding over bolts or nuts that are going to have much more thread that you have to get over. So you can actually use these in a lot more ways. This one you can see comes kind of pre-oiled, and they put that on there to prevent from rusting and corrosion or to help limit it. But These have been absolutely phenomenal. When you go on Amazon or other places to shop for this stuff, you'll usually find smaller kits. But this one right here, I think it's like a 34-piece kit, but it is absolutely phenomenal. When I find tools for an affordable price, I tend to stick with that same tool because if I've had a good experience, why switch? But these are really, really profoundly amazing. These give me the capability of removing and installing so many different types of fasteners. When I do bed liner, when I do truck bed cover installations, this is what I go to. When I am installing or assembling a toolbox or, you know, some type of a component that I'm going to need, a weight distribution hitch, this is the setup that I go to. Between these two, I can accomplish just about anything that requires a socket or a nut driver or a bolt that needs to be tightened, installed, or removed. And these have been phenomenal. And like I said, I go to these all the time whenever I need them. This is a set that I just bought. It just came in. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to shoot a video on some of these tools because people ask me, what tools should I use for a certain application? And I'm going to try to give you more clarity into the types of tools that I like, because I don't like buying super expensive tools like this. Inevitably, they usually last. They're usually going to do what you need them to do, but occasionally they might break. And if they do break, I don't want to feel like I have to specifically hunt down one part to replace. I like the fact that I can spend like $40 or $45 on a tool set like this and know that if something does break, which I've never had one of these break yet, I have the ability to just spend another $45 and get another tool set. And that's essentially what happens. I lose one, I don't know where they go, my 10 millimeter disappears, and instead of trying to hunt down one 10 millimeter, I just get another set because I can always use these, and they're always so handy to have in different areas of the shop, the garage, the house, the truck, you know, all sorts of different places. Anyways, that said, I just want to share this with you because this is always a question that I get. People ask me, what tools should I get in preparation for different types of accessory installations? This is probably my second most go-to toolkit, actually my first in terms of more universally sized, you know, screws and bolts and nuts. This right here in terms of larger stuff, removing wheels, tires, larger bolts that I have to use to put on, you know, tongue jacks, things like that. That's where this comes in handy, but even this has some larger sizes that can accomplish a lot of those tasks. I mean, you go all the way up to 3/4 inch drive with this kit. So just wanted to share that. I'll put links in the description of this video to both of these kits if this is something you may be interested in. Buy them off Amazon. But again, this is just a phenomenal set. I love the fact that you get these really nice quick releases. You get this super long, what is this, a 5-inch extension. Plus it gives you Phillips head bit, 2 of them actually. And the only thing I don't think you get in this one is a slotted bit or a flat bit, but I don't really use those. I think most people don't really use those. But what do you guys think? Drop a comment below. If you have a tool set that you really, really like, put that in the comment section below. I'd love to know what type of tools you use. Anyways, guys, I sure hope you enjoyed this video. If you haven't had a chance, please take a moment, subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, and we'll talk to you again very soon.